Alright, getting some pressure going on my... Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Alright. Just gotta fucking wake everybody up. Alright. My loud coughing. Anyway, okay. So, today I'm going to talk about overly docile men and why that is actually an agenda. Typically nowadays, you see men who show signs of aggression, okay? They'll only show it towards other men in the population. But typically, they start bowing down towards police, military, whatever. And that would be the point that I'm trying to make right now. And why that's a bad thing. So pretty much what happens is, I don't know if anyone's noticed all these Alaska shows that have been on. I mean, they're on everywhere. Basically, how it works is, when you have a population, as I've explained in other videos, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to search through my list and check out other of my videos. And look this information up. But as I explained before in more detail, what happens is you get the sexes to be divided, and it's called a dialectic, and you can control the population. The population is completely malleable after being, separated, after the two sexes are separated, because there needs to be kind of a unification between sexes in order for, correct, a good society, or whatever you're trying to achieve, And I've explained this in other videos, so I'm just going to skip that stuff and go what I'm trying to talk about. So when you do that, you have the women that are targeted more, which I've also explained in another video. I've explained this. I've explained all these things in other videos. So if you're confused, go back and look, as I've said. You get the women to start going through a different kind of mind control than what the men are kind of going through, if that makes any sense. So, like, women will be more targeted towards media, advertising. I think there was some statistic, I don't know if I can exactly remember what the exact statistic was, but I want to say it was something like 85% of all merchandise and services bought in America by women. It was something like that. I really wish somebody would... I heard that statistic from Mark Passio's What on Earth is Happening website, which I think I'll give a link to his work on this page, because he does an incredible job, and he actually recently has done a neo-feminist topic on his latest podcast, where he really breaks a lot of similar topics down. But what I'm trying to get to right now is how when you get the men, okay, the men who are not considered acceptable by the females, okay, because they don't conform to the capitalistic lifestyle. They want to be more free. They want to be more open. They want to have guns. They'll defend themselves. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Men that'll actually defend themselves. They won't just call the police. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely something that if you're creating like a dialectic like this, you definitely want that out of the way, because that's going to immediately thwart many problems. So you get the men out of the way. So usually what happens is you'll notice how the women in our society are focused on certain things that men essentially need to achieve for them. And this would be different things like having a nice big house, large bank account, large car, whatever, these kinds of things, materialistic, nihilistic, whatever. And when you've done that, it essentially you've made it so the men have to become more docile and into the program, into this essential capitalistic lifestyle. And what happens is you still have the men that are like that. The original man. He's going to take a stand, wants to be free. He's going to be conforming to this horse capitalist, capital communist bullshit. which I just like to throw out. If you think that there's any fucking difference between capitalism, communism, fascism, you're out of your fucking mind. All right, because there is nothing. Do some investigations on how the systems work, and essentially you're always going to end up back to the same thing. There's a small group or one guy controlling the whole show, and they just control everybody. I don't get it. It doesn't matter really how it happens. It really makes no difference. I don't understand how people get even lost in that way of thinking. It shocks me, actually. I really don't know how, it's like, I don't know how it even, I don't know. I just, not quite cluing in there on that one. Anyway, so, oh yeah, the Alaska shows. That was one thing I was talking about too. Sorry, I'm kind of scatterbrained right now because I've told this to a lot of people, but I had to try to remember all the main points, because you know when you tell someone you hit every point, like, okay, I got it, good. Nah, so right now I'm kind of struggling because I'm trying to think about all my points again. Okay, the Alaska shows that are on every channel. Okay, Animal Planet shows these Alaska frontier bullshit shows. What happens is I've had 3 older men tell me that they would love to go to Alaska after seeing all that stuff. And I'm pretty much telling you, there's a reason. Because it appeals to the men that are into investigating conspiracies, into freedom, real freedom, not this democracy horse shit. That are into gun ownership, into being the man, being the real man of the house, not some guy who's just slapping some woman in the ass, telling her to make some food. I'm talking about a real man. Okay, someone busts through the door, they're going to do a full flip, right? But anyway, so you just try to get them out of the way. Tell them, hey, look, you go out in the middle of nowhere and die. I mean, Alaska's got like what? Some weird statistic. I think it's something like 3 women or 3 men to every woman, And essentially, this is what causes eugenics. And this is like, so you pretty much get the population off, and then the consciousness of the people, of those people, are out of the way. You moved them out of the way. You moved all those men out of the way. And would you keep the capitalist men? And essentially, that's going to lower the population because, if people aren't having more kids and you're just narrowing this small group into this little capitalist society, it's essentially it's a joke to think that that's not something that's planned. Something like 70 over here at Seattle Pacific University, I just heard 70% of the people there are women. 70% of the students there are women. Think about that for a second. Okay, so that means you have 70% of these women that are just going in there, and they're just attracting this 30% of men. See what I'm saying? Bam. All those men aren't all those men are probably not armed. All those men are probably not, willing to fight for freedom or care or anything into like conspiracies, aliens, whatever. Living on roughing it. That's not the kind of men that are probably there. Maybe a couple variables, but that's about it. And that's exactly the point. And if you don't see that, if all this is confusing, well, you probably need to go see my other videos. If you did and it's still confusing, well, how about you make up your own mind about it?